Good morning. Just getting ready to go for a long run and try out the Brooks caldera today. So packing up. This is a dry run and a recce for the Arc 50. So this section that I'm about to run, jog, walk quickly, is Zennor. This is where dreams go to die, I believe. A lot of people struggle getting through Zennor, particularly if you've already got 70 miles in your legs if you're on 100. What are you? You're 20 something miles in if you're on the 50. Yeah, about 20 miles in. So I want to give it a recce. So I thought I'd come down on this beautiful summer day, get down to the Southwest Coastal Path and then scoot along to just outside St Ives, and I'll turn around and come back slightly different routes. I'm not going to follow the coastal path back. Come back still on the trails. So a couple of things I'm doing. First of all is the recce. I'm going to film it, share it with you guys, show you some of the gnarlier bits. Trying out new shoes. So I've got the Brooks caldera. As I left the campsite, heavens opened up. I was all geared up for t-shirt and shorts, and it absolutely hammered down. So I thought, right, waterproof's on. Glad I did. Looking at the state of what I'm walking through now, shorts, my legs would have already been ripped to pieces, and yeah, I'd be feeling the cold and that. So yeah, good call on the waterproofs. Not planning on trying to run at what I'll laughingly call race pace. I'm just trying to get across it in a reasonable time. I don't want to be out. Don't want to be out for hours. So this must now be the Southwest Coastal Path. What's my watch telling me? The sunrise come through here. Right, I think this is going to be the start of the path. So I'm going to look over that wall and see if there's anything there to go. So it's going to be a good test for the Brooks. These are the Brooks caldera, brand new shoe for me. First time I've worn them, other than walking around. The house. Right, I'm going to put the camera away for a second. That lace. Well, that's not the Arc. It's not signed to the Arc. It's the Arc. It used to be Mud Crew, and now it's UTMB. Right. Yeah, camera away, map check, and then I think I'll be that way for about 10 miles. So yeah, just on this section I'm already on. Very little chance of passing people on there. It's not too bad. It's very rocky just. So this section coming up here, I've just been through a bit that was probably 30 metres of just rock like that. So again, that's going to slow you down a lot. Elevation's not too bad at the moment. It's up and down, but nothing major ridiculous. And this is very similar to the part where the 25 joined just outside St Ives, but look, this is going to be very, very difficult to move quickly over on, especially if you've got other people trying to get round at the same time. This is yeah, not really a runnable section. A little bit of scrambling. I think when you get here, you just have to. I'll just have to accept that I'm going to move as fast as I can, which is going to be at the speed of the person in front of me, really, or I should say no faster than the speed of the person in front of me, and I'll apologise in advance if the person behind me is hoping to go faster and I'm slowing them down. Okay, that's not too bad. It's only one small section, but these are really narrow. Nicely, it's like peat rather than slimy, horrible mud. This is good traction. It's nice and soft underfoot outside of the stony parts, of which there are loads, and of which I've got to say, so far, the brooks are doing a fantastic job of just absorbing those little sticky up bits, little sharp pointy bits of rock, and so far I've had no problem with traction. So one of the good things about coming out in the rain is it does give the shoe a bit more of a test on more realistic trail conditions. There we go, nice clear spot now. Nice little downhill section here. Unfortunately, guess what's at the bottom of every downhill? An uphill. Great view though. And a hop, skip and a jump. Don't want to get them muddy just yet, they're still nice and white. That little bit there is horrible, and it looks like it's going to get just as bad over there. See the path running. See the path running over there, but it looks like these boulders go all the way around about there. And then who knows what's going to go right around the corner. Slow you down a lot though. Okay. Anybody that's running up here has got horns and hooves, I can tell you that much. I mean, they're goats, not devils. There's a horsey on the path there, he's moved. I think he saw me coming and said, "Here, I'll get a life for you, mate." There he is. Wild ponies. Well, semi-wild, I think. They moved them around. There's a sign back there saying that they've got them here to help with the grazing. Oh, talking of which. Feels like I'm still on a path. That's pretty well. This is Zennor Head. Now towards St Ives now. Not going all the way to St Ives. Didn't start in Pendeen. Not going all the way to St Ives. So Pendeen I was probably about 2 miles outside. St Ives I'm only going to be about a mile outside. So there's about another 5 miles to go. Then I'm going to cut it, head back on the easy path. That bit there, just coming up, the bitches get a lot of heat, you know, and they're not that bad. That was worse, I think, than the bitches. I think the problem with the bitches is they're at the end and they catch you unaware. So just be careful. There are bits along here that are worse, but they're not at the end. I was just thinking how nice the path had become once I'd got past Zennor ahead. But this is just showing me otherwise. To be fair, up until this point, it's been quite nice. It was quite smooth. I managed to get a nice pace up. Now I've just hit this little section here, which following the watercourse, I guess down to the gully, and then it'll be climb back up. Little bit of a boulder field there. Quite short though, thankfully. And then you're back onto what looks like a decent sort of sandy path for a while. This now, it's the path over there. That's lovely. Couldn't make up any time really coming this way. A couple of nice little sections, but the bits that you can't run on absolutely just stop you in your tracks. However, this looks quite nice and level now, at least all the way over to there. So this is a good section to make up some time, and you will need to make up time because there's parts there where you just can't run. And if you end up in a convoy, you're moving as fast as the slowest person in front of you, aren't you? Because there's no real passing places. However, as I said previously, this is a runnable section. Yeah, this looks like a fairly decently runnable section. Therefore I run. So I think that's me now. 8 miles from just north of Pendeen to this point here, and now I'm going to cut across and get on another path just back to where I've come from. So it'll be about another 8 miles back, I would guess. It might be a little bit over 8 miles this way because of the issues I had at the start with not actually recording my run. But I've done the bit I wanted to do. That was Zennor, and it is a pig. It's an absolute pig. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back to the campsite and I'll do a little bit of a breakdown of the section I've just done, and also talk about these shoes, because I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty blown away with them so far. This route back is lovely. It's a path that sort of parallels the coastal path through the fields and that. It's just walk down there, which is probably all these little old farm buildings and stuff along this trail. It's fairly sheltered. Okay. Could be a map time. I'm guessing this way because the path seems to go straight on, but I should get the map out as well. Weird medieval cattle woods. almost walked past it. Oh, I needed that. Alcohol free, but just something with a bit of flavour in it, rather than just water. This is it now, it's road all the way back to the van. So, I mean, the shoes have done every other terrain, so a couple of miles on the road really give me a good idea of how good they are, really. I think that's it till we get to the van now. What kind of little birdie he was. Right, see you back at the van. There's a lot to unpack there. No doubt about it, that is a horrendous, despicable section of the race. Can fully understand why people don't manage to make the cut-off at St Ives with that just in front of it. So some sort of strategy, I guess. I mean, the main strategy is keep moving. Got a lot of work to do on leg strength anyway, because those climbs, some of those climbs were ridiculous. I think I mentioned it. The bitches get a bit of a hard time because they're bad, and they come towards the end of the race when your legs are tired. But some of those sections around Zennor are equally as bad. Talk about gear. I'm really happy with the shoes. I mean, the shoes are just fantastic. I don't know how far I've actually run, because I had problems with my watch at the start, and then I popped into a pub at Zennor. It was a bit full, but I paused my watch because I thought I was going to have a drink there. But I didn't turn it on until the other pub at Treen, so I don't know what the distance was there that was missed out. So that's got to be done. I think it's about 15-16 miles. I did a round trip rather than an out and back. But my feet feel fine. I mean, those shoes, they just absorbed absolutely everything I threw at them. I mean, jumping onto the hard rocks on the edges, didn't feel it. All the little stones you get, you know, on some of these paths, didn't feel them. The road sections were great. I mean, they're just, yeah, I think I'm a bit of a Brooks fan now. Be interested to see what their road shoes are like. The on-pod worked really well with the Trailblazer 30, but I think the Trailblazer 30 might be a bit overkill, to be honest. Everything that I needed immediate access to was in the on-pod. But yeah, I was really pleased with the way that worked. Wasn't really out long enough to know whether the nutrition plan, as it was, worked or not. The plan was to eat a packet of Poppets. 500 calories in one of those packets of Poppets. And I ate it. It was a struggle, but I did eat them. They were easier to eat than the Snickers peanut butter, I can tell you that. Fluid intake was fine, you know. I'm definitely going to go with the 3 litre bag rather than individual bottles. I managed to, I mean, I drank 2 litres and it didn't feel like it was enough. Salt tablets seemed to do the job. Enjoyed those. So I had one of those for every litre of water I took on board, and I did get a little bit of cramp just before I was starting to get cramp just before I took the second salt tablet, but it didn't develop into anything. Whether that was because of the salt tablet or whether it just wasn't going to develop into anything anyway, I don't know. So yeah, interesting. Worth coming down, worth doing the Recce and seeing what it was like. There are some really nice runnable sections on there. They're just not very long, so I think you've got to make the most of those. So any runnable section on that, you've got to take advantage of. You've absolutely got to take advantage, because there's so much on there that's going to stop you from running and slow you down, that the second you hit a bit, even if it's like just 20-30 metres, I think you've got to take it. Just under 800 metres of elevation gain. It didn't feel like it, to be honest. The elevation gain didn't feel that bad. think because you're sort of slowed down and it's steps rather than sort of like running up a hill, you don't really notice it as much. I mean, you notice it in your quads and that. But yeah, so just around about 800 meters, 796 I think is the actual number. Right, so I think that's very good. Okay, so I think that's about all I've got to say on this one. The next section, I guess, is the section from the Minack Theatre to more or less where I joined, so just past Pendeen. I'll come back in a month or so's time and give that section a go, and then I've got it all done. Just putting it all together. Right then, thanks for watching. Comments always welcome. Interested in your thoughts. What do you think about the shoes? What are your thoughts? What shoes are you using? That'd be interesting to know. Yeah, just drop us a comment, say hello, and I look forward to seeing you at the start line and more importantly at the finish line. Take it easy, guys. Bye.